Okay, so we're here now at our mixed species pasture trial. We're now at Junee at Hart Brothers Seeds. So this trial is made possible by the help from Rob Hart and his team at Hart Brothers Seeds, as well as various seed companies that put entries into this trial. So we're looking at annual pastures and how they compare to your standard dual purpose crops. It's just all about biomass really. So we're looking at two treatments here that are mixed species treatments. So we've thrown together different mixes that are happening around the farm. So on my left we have a Planet barley and a common vetch growing together. And on this side we have canola, vetch, oats, rye corn, as well as some turnips, all in one mix as well. So we're just trying to get as much biomass as we can for livestock grazing. Obviously we can't have real sheep on this trial, so we've been doing dry matter cuts through the year, and every time we do that we mow the plot back as if it's been grazed by sheep. So what you can see now, this growth is about 3 weeks of regrowth. So they've been very active in spring. So we're looking at now some ryegrass treatments that are also part of this trial. So they're just straight ryegrass, and so even myself, you think of ryegrass as a weed, but here it is doing an awesome job in a pasture trial. So what you can see here is also 3 weeks of regrowth, and so we've already cut these twice. So they're really high biomass producers, and that's something that we could use to our advantage in pasture. Obviously that is a lot of growth, and sometimes maybe that could be hard to manage. So we probably need to be careful when using these kind of species, that we have good stocking rates and that we're not letting it get away on us. And an important part of this trial is that we're looking at feed quality as well. So every time that we do a biomass cut, we also do a feed quality test using the New South Wales DPI feed testing service. And so we can track how much digestible feed that's here. And if we let that get too far advanced, that quality will start to decline. So we're trying to keep it nice and fresh like it is now. We'll do another cut shortly. And so it's the best quality feed, and it's getting really good regrowth and just a lot of dry matter in an annual crop. So another mix we have here has a very high broadleaf component. So we have vetch, tillage radish and canola, and then a little bit of oats as well. So another advantage of doing something like this is there's legumes in there. So it's adding that nitrogen that's feeding not only this crop, but could have a legacy effect into following seasons. And also maybe if you're not a fan of growing pulses as a grain crop, the value of vetch as a feed source for livestock is really good. It's a really high quality feed, and you're mixing it in with other species as well to create a really nice feed that can be utilised on your farm. So an advantage of growing a mixed species like this is that there's a mix of feed available for livestock, and they're not just eating one single crop that could cause health issues. So it's a bit like in a feedlot situation where we're giving a mix of a ration. You're getting that right in the paddock as well. So we also have all our dual purpose crops such as oats, triticale, wheat and also barley up the end. This trial isn't about saying that mixed species pastures are better. It might be how that they can complement each other. So these have all had a graze as well and produce biomass, and then now we've left them so that we can harvest them as well. So the advantage there could be is that this is producing feed at a different time to the mixed species. So it's just another feed source for livestock, and you also get the grain as well at the end, whereas the mixed species, they're just pasture. So when this is getting locked up, you don't have anything left to graze, maybe your perennial pastures aren't performing, you have that mixed species option as well. So we've also included our dual purpose canola crops that you'd be familiar with, such as 970, Feast And we've also included a variety called Trifecta that you might not think of as a dual purpose crop, but because we're planting in March, we thought it might be an option. So you can see that here is the Trifecta which got grazed, and each side we've left ungrazed, so we will be able to see if there's a yield benefit penalty from grazing a variety such as Trifecta. So we've seen a range of different species and treatments in this trial, and so we will continue to perform biomass cuts leading into the end of spring, as well as the grain harvest on the relevant treatments, and then we'll be able to compare each treatment by doing a gross margin. So we will calculate how much the dry matter that's been produced is worth, as well as the grain, and we'll be able to compare each treatment that way.